All right, guys, if any of you guys know my father, he's very successful, a very good-looking guy. He's very popular himself. So when you see me and you think, yeah, he dresses like a woman, yeah, he encourages outcasts, yes, he is very kind of like a very friendly person, myself, Marco. He's really encouraging of all people's success. He's really encouraging of all this crazy stuff, and well, it's good stuff, obviously, but he's really kind of he dressed up as a woman. Like what kind of guy is this? You know, like what kind of guy is this? Well, if you see my dad, he's actually on YouTube, and he's actually on YouTube himself, and he's like the epitome of the most masculine male ever. Even at his age, he's in his 80s. Okay, so he's in his 80s. If you see him, you would be very surprised to see that he pretty much looks exactly like me. And when he was younger, he was really good looking like me, right? So that's the person I want to become. So if anybody likes Melina, Melina's great. I like Melina a lot. Some people prefer me being Melina, right? But I'm not gonna end up having a sex change or anything like that. No, and I encourage you if you want to, and that's what you've always wanted, and that's the identity you feel. Then yes, for sure, I want you to go for it because I think it's important that we all belong in the bodies that we want to be in, right? But Melina is very beautiful. The thing that I love about Melina is that Melina can be turned on, right? Like turned into, I can turn into, not turned on, I can turn into Melina at any moment, right? So it's very nice to have that ability to do that and be as gorgeous as I am as Melina and just turn into that at any moment. Now, if you see, like I said, if you see my dad, you'll know why I love being Marco and I love being the most good looking male on earth. And of course, the addition of having Melina around is great too, right? Now, Marco is incredible and talented and handsome and all that. Melina is beautiful, pretty, sleek, skinny, attractive, fit, thin. So we really love both. And the fact that both can be around is great. I really feel, and the thing about Melina is that I can pretty much be the most gorgeous woman on earth at any point in time. And it's just very easy for me to do because I just turn on the glam, put on the lipstick and the makeup and the hair and the stilettos. And it's really great. I really feel like it's the most fun I could ever have as a performer, right? So it's really kind of nice to be able to do all that at a whim. It's very, very nice. I'm very pleased by that. So I'm really happy to do that for you guys. Now, there's a lot of people that like Melina. I mean, there's probably, I have no idea. Maybe there's more people that like Melina than Marco. I have no idea. But Melina is very spectacular. And I think it's kind of nice to have that option to dress up as Melina and carry on that legacy and that ability. Now, the thing about my dad was almost famous. He was almost famous, but at that time, you needed a record deal, you needed promotions, you needed different things. You needed kind of like that person that's going to catapult you to success, and you needed to be brought to fame, right, by someone else. And at that time, there wasn't the option of doing YouTube, right? So at that time, you either had to get a record label or someone to produce your stuff, and then you had to have someone also um, to get you out there, and you have to put out CD after CD or whatever, and perform like crazy. Now, my dad did do a lot of performances, and he did get paid for those performances in some sense. Some people might say it wasn't too much, but yes, he got paid a little bit, not very much. But he performed quite a bit, and he performed a lot of stuff. He might, well, according to him, he didn't get paid a lot, but he might be secretly saying that maybe he did get paid a lot. I don't know, but according to him, there wasn't that much money in what he was getting. Because people just were like, well, no one knows about him, we'll just take advantage. He's a foreigner, he is someone that didn't have the language fully, so they just took advantage of him. Now, for me, I have 2 degrees in education. I will not be taken advantage of. If I get a deal that I'm not paid up front or whatever, then I'm not going to go for it, right? And of course, I have the opportunity to have a YouTube channel with a lot of videos. So the success will already be planted before I perform. So that's really great news for me. And of course, my dad is still around. So if I get really successful and he gets successful, then they just talk about him and he'll get automatically claim to fame. Now he's on YouTube, right? So he could go viral as well. So to recapture that fame for him would be very nice, right? I mean, it's really encouraging that you can have a channel. Like he's in his 80s, and if you saw him perform, you'd be like, "Whoa, that's crazy good." And he's 80, he looks like a 50-year-old. It's awesome. So, yeah, so really happy about that. So anyway, that's kind of the story a bit about the background of my father being a performer, and he still performs. Um, he's just not noticed as much because of, he's dealt with like he's kind of been given that opportunity to perform, but not at the best pay, right? So, which he might be secretly telling me that he's not paid a lot, but who knows? I don't know, but I just know that when I grew up, we weren't really wealthy or anything, so it was a struggle for him, to try to get noticed and everything. And but now that he's on YouTube, and YouTube is a guaranteer for that kind of thing, YouTube pays and stuff like that. It's kind of nice to have that as an opportunity for both of us. But for me, I have 2 degrees. I have a lot more things going on for me in terms of my ability to make good choices and different things. There's so many more options as a younger person nowadays, and a lot of people back in the day, dealt with issues that were like that, right? Like there's a lot of issues that especially even women nowadays compared to women back then. The women nowadays are very, very, very powerful. A lot of women are very powerful, and a lot of women have a lot more power than their mothers did, right? And it's kind of a nice thing to see. It really, really encourages people that had no opportunity before, and now they have a lot of opportunity. So a lot of these women are like, you know what, my mom suffered extensively, and she dealt with a lot of major issues, and it was all a man's world, and now, I mean, it's the complete opposite. So people are really encouraged to change their status and their abilities to get famous in such a different way now. And like the thing with Rose McGowan, right? Like Rose McGowan, I mean, Rose McGowan complained about Harvey Weinstein, and she got her wish. Um, she's actually gotten her complaint go through. And now Harvey Weinstein is. I have no idea. I haven't heard about Harvey Weinstein in a while. I don't know if he's in jail. I don't know if he killed himself. I have no idea, but I just know that um, back in the day, would that have happened? No way. Like if a Hollywood executive is a Hollywood executive, no matter what they're doing, they're allowed, right? So it's really encouraging to see all these changes in the world, and all these women making a move to success that maybe weren't able to, and they can complain now about people that are abusing them or trying to get them to do things to be in the spotlight. It's crazy, but it's so true that these women now, and men, men too, right? Because men are getting taken advantage of as well, right? So it's really encouraging to see all this, right? All this is really exciting for people that are trying to make a future in the music business and everything like that. So I'm really happy about all that. And of course, my father, is still performing. So I mean, if he gets famous on YouTube, he'll be doing very, very well, and then he can perform with higher pay. And I mean, I don't know exactly how much he's paid. And I mean, he does construction as well, and he gets paid. He says he gets paid a lot, and then he gets paid a little. So who knows? It's kind of like a toss up in the air. But and there was, growing up, I was kind of like given kind of like, I was, in my family, I was kind of spoiled, but in a sense, I mean, I was given more than the rest of my siblings in terms of food and different things, but I wasn't spoiled at all, really. But like compared to a rich kid, I was not spoiled. But I mean, we grew up poor, right? And so did Oprah, and so did a lot of other celebrities. So it's kind of nice to be knowing that I'm going to be catapulted to huge success and stardom, and just be able to say, I did it all on my own, which is very nice. So I'm really grateful to all my fans. Thank you all very much for watching. There's a bit about my background. As a boy, I was very good in school. I made the honor roll. I made, I made the gold honor roll in high school, and I made the highest marks in the class in elementary school. I had done university, but I just took statistics, and I took economics and different things. So I was not really geared towards a career in music or anything. I was not really geared towards acting or dancing or singing. I had no formal training. I just really liked the entertainment world, and I really watched it a lot. But I never even watched it that much. I mean, for me, I don't know where this stuff came from. I think it's because my dad is very good at what he did. You know, my dad's performances were way better than a lot of other celebrities at the time, when he was around that time. But because he was given kind of the, like, he was opening up for a band, and that band was famous, and he was performing in a stadium, and he performed in lots of big venues. But I think what happened was the wrong people were saying, you know, you're not gonna make it or whatever, or they just said we're not gonna deal with you. And so he didn't talk to the right people that could catapult his success. A lot of his music is good, but he just wasn't given the opportunity. And so, you know, for me, it's really nice to know that YouTube is around because you can get paid on YouTube, and you don't need a career where someone's totally in control of it. And you can be in control of your own career, which is very, very nice. Which is why people that choose YouTube as a great platform, we all love YouTube. So, thank you all very much. So that's a bit of my background with my father as a musician. You know, it was really sad, and he's still around. So I mean, he can be famous now. Um, but you know, it'll be really nice because I think he actually will be. You know, the funny thing is, he's so good even now that, I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger is good for sure, but I mean, my dad is like just like better than him in some senses. So my dad looks better than him anyway. So I'm really pleased that there's opportunity there. And like I said, if you want me to be Melina all the time, well, I can see why. I look at her and I'm like, holy, she's gorgeous. Um, I can see why you want me to be Melina all the time, but she's actually not. She's actually very proud to be Melina. But as far as it goes, I like me being Marco because of my father. He was so great. Both my parents were amazing. I really love my parents. They were awesome parents. You know, dealing with the way things were at the time and everything, and the lack of opportunity there, they really overcame a lot of obstacles. And you know, for them, it was a challenge. It was a major challenge. So I'm really grateful that they were as good a parents as they could be, and they really did a good job. You know, my mother was a very good mom. You know, she dealt with a lot, and she had 5 kids, and she took care of all of us, and she was very good at everything she did. And you know, she was very beautiful. She was, you know, she was adorable. She was great. So really loved my mother. She was awesome. So yes, I grew up from a very good family with strong musical roots. And you know, if my dad becomes famous now, I'll be really happy. You know, that's all my dad really wanted. But you know, my dad was very good the way he was. Like he was very, you know, he was kind of like the kind of person that's like very easygoing, laid back. So for him, if he didn't get that kind of thing, he wasn't upset. He wasn't willing to do plastic surgery or do anything that was something he didn't want to do. You know, he was very good about all that. So really encouraged by my father being such a good person and really talented. And he's super friendly. You know, my dad has been very friendly to everybody. He's very friendly to all kinds of people. He doesn't judge, you know. So for him, it's really great to see that kind of personality in someone that should be like, my dad could have been a snob all the time, but he totally was not a snob at all. So anyway, the same goes with me. I'm very friendly. I don't like to be rude. I don't like to be treating people badly. You know, for me, I don't even like to treat outcasts badly. You know, for me, I just really want people to live a life where they feel free and enjoy their lives. I wouldn't want somebody to make me feel bad, you know. So, and nobody does. I feel very great all the time. People really encourage me to be who I am. So, why not encourage people to be themselves? You know, I really want people to feel good. You know, so, and you know, with Melina, the good thing about Melina is I totally respect you if you think Melina's the bee's knees, you know? If you're someone that does drag and you're totally into drag and you date in drag and you go out in drag and you perform in drag, and or you're not even glamorous in drag but you just do it for fun, or you want to marry a drag queen, or you think sex change is really good or anything, as a guy or a girl, I really encourage that because for me, I'm very happy. So for me, and I think all people that are very happy are not going to judge that kind of thing, you know? It's sad that even anybody would, but you know, nowadays we live in a society where it's a lot better. You know, back in the day it would have been frowned upon, but now people are really encouraging that kind of thing, so it's really kind of nice. So, like I said, if you see Melina and you think, oh my gosh, she's gorgeous, I love her, that's a drag queen, by all means think that. I totally am all for it, you know. If you think Melina is going to make you feel better as a person that does drag, or better as a person that has a sex change or whatever, then please do so. Enjoy, because that's what she's here for. She wants you to feel like a person that can live your life the way you want to be, all right? She encourages freedom and positivity. She encourages the most amazing things, the most beautiful things in your life. So if you feel that she's encouraging you to do drag or to be a transgender person, and you might have someone criticizing you, whatever. And this goes for all things. If you get racial slurs thrown at you, if you're considered someone that doesn't have any intelligence, my voice is strong, and I really believe it's there for you guys. If you don't consider yourself attractive, I want you to know that Marco really wants to encourage you to feel good. How does somebody get attractive? Well, they have to feel attractive at some point, and then they can work on it. So, if they're always being put down, well, that's no good. You should feel good regardless of who you are, right? You should feel really, really good. So do not let anybody put you down. Do not let anyone treat you like trash, because you deserve to be treated very, very well, all right? Okay, so that's without saying I have to deliver that speech, because you guys all deserve good things. And if you are someone that's really, really talented, which I have a lot of those people on my that watch me, and if you are someone that's very, very good looking, if I have celebrities watching me as well, then please keep going. Do not let one person's negativity bring you down. Do not let a negative comment upset you. If you're someone that's, thin but not overly thin, and you're a very successful singer or dancer, and you have someone saying something negative to you, do not take it seriously. You don't know who they are, right? If it's just a comment online, it's not something you can take seriously, because the person's not telling you in your face. It's not something you really have to take as a big deal. So just want to encourage you. Some people commit suicide over stuff like that. It's ridiculous. How do you know who the person is? You have no idea, right? They could send a picture, but they could be a false picture, right? Or they could send a picture and it could be a real picture, but who cares? If that person's like, if someone like, I don't know, like Christina Aguilera is making fun of you on YouTube, which she probably wouldn't do, but if she was, then, and she's telling you you're not beautiful, whatever, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, honestly. So I really want you to feel really, really good about yourself. Regardless of who you are, you could be the most unimportant person in the world. Feel good, right? Your life is short. Enjoy your life. You should feel happy, right? Because life is meant to be enjoyed, right? Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I really want to encourage you guys to watch all my performances, all 12,700 now, or 800. I've lost track. I have no clue how many I have. Thank you guys very, very much. You guys are all great. Really enjoy my channel. All right. Bye now.